Okay, and then what the liver does is it produces bile. And bile is an important enzyme that helps to break down and digest food. All right, then just underneath, tucked in there, is a small little pea-like structure. That's the gallbladder. This says gallbladder, but it's gallbladder. Gallbladder. And what that does, the liver will produce bile, and this gallbladder will store that bile until it's ready to be used. Okay, so the gallbladder stores the bile that is produced by the liver, and when it needs to be used, it will distribute that bile into the intestine here. It begins with the small intestine and secrete those digestive juices. Okay, so the liver, gallbladder, small intestine, all working together. The whole digestive system actually all working together. The stomach, as I mentioned, pretty straightforward. It aids in digestion, right? Aids in digestion. There are digestive enzymes in the stomach, just like your stomach, and a lot of the digestion of food is taking place here. Okay? So, once it passes through the stomach, you see it's connected to this tube here. All right? And the tube is not labeled to all the way down here, but it will coil up much like yours. It is the small intestine. Okay? And you can draw it kind of coiled and wiggly. Kind of just get nuts with it. More digestion is going on. In the small intestine, and it's taking food, absorbing nutrients, but also sending undigested food eventually to the large intestine. And even further down the line, the rectum and anus to eventually be excreted. Okay, but I skipped some things along the way when I was talking about that. All right, one of them being this kind of, again, bean-shaped thing. That's the pancreas. You too have a pancreas. And what this does is it helps break down sugars. Okay, it secretes digestive enzymes into the small intestine. So it's, again, aiding in digestion. So you can kind of draw an attached bean-like structure. All right. And then on the other side, we have a small pea-like structure. This is the spleen. And what that does is filters dead blood cells, okay, from the circulatory system, stores blood cells, cleans out the dead ones. All right. And that, I believe, is all we have. So I'm going to label mine. All right. Here's my finished product with everything labeled and numbered. All right, and yours doesn't have to look exactly like this. Okay, but here's what I went with, okay? Teeth, I went 27. So over here, I'll write teeth. Gullet, that's that opening that goes into the esophagus. That's 28. 29, I went with the esophagus. The tube that connects the gullet or the mouth to the stomach, okay? 30, you see it's labeled a couple times here. That's the liver. It's got multiple lobes and then produces bile. Gallbladder is that thing tucked behind it and stores that. Bile, gallbladder, number 31. Stomach is 32. It sits below the liver and the gallbladder, but you can see that I've connected the stomach to the esophagus. Okay, 33, I went with pancreas. Pancreas, pancake. Looks like a pancake, kind of. I don't know. You got to come up with, you know, fun little ways to remember these things. Pancreas right there. We have spleen, looks like a P. There's 34. That filters the dead blood cells. 35, the final one is small intestine, right? This whole tube before it turns into the large intestine. We already labeled the large intestine in a previous one. I believe that was excretory. So large intestine was 24, rectum was 25, and anus was 26. Okay, anybody need more time on that? I'll give you a couple minutes here. Yeah. On the back, if you're done with this already, you can be writing about the digestive system and the things that it does. And I'll take you through it. I'm going to need a separate sheet of paper because I ran out of room. So there we have it, 37 parts of a frog that we've labeled in 2 days. Wow. Yep, the digestive system. Main purpose is to digest food. Use it for energy. Okay. All right. Now, if you have room on the back here to add some notes, that's great. I do not. I ran out. So I'm going to just add it to another sheet. Okay. And let's talk about the final system. That was the digestive system. Main purpose is to process food into energy, aka digest food and get those nutrients that are needed. Okay. Let's talk about the liver. The liver is one of them. Uh-oh. "36 and 37 were from the heart, and that was the auricle and the ventricle. So I will show you those again.
Wait, it's 37 ventricle, right?
Yep. So back in the circulatory system, we did this. It's the heart of the frog. And 36 are the two atria, or they're called auricles. Either way. They're either atria or auricles. So they're interchangeable. Then you have 37, the ventricle. Okay? You're going to have to be able to draw how this works, how the blood flows. So I tried to make this clear here. The red is blood flow coming into the heart, right? Heart has to be pumped, or has to go into the, blood has to be going into the heart. It's a liquid tissue that goes into the heart. Starts in this atria and this atria. All right, first we're getting this coming from the body over here in this atria. We're getting this coming from the body. When it's coming from the body, it has low oxygen, right? It's been used up, okay? It gets in the heart. Okay, over here on this side, it's coming from, who can read that? Lungs, okay? It's coming from the lungs. If it's coming from the lungs, it has
Oxygen.
high oxygen, right? The lungs that they breathed into, that's where you're getting the oxygen, fills the blood with oxygen. So we have high oxygen over here, low oxygen over here. They're going to go through these valves here. See these valves that I've somewhat drawn? They can only go one way. It cannot go backwards. Right, Zach? Okay, so they go into the ventricle. Uh-oh, now we have this low oxygen and high oxygen mixed together. So it gets mixed, and basically it's medium oxygen, basically. So this, my little scribble there, was an attempt at me saying it got mixed up. Okay? Gets all mixed up, and it's going to be pushed up through these two tubes. All right? One of the tubes takes it to the body with medium oxygen, and one of the tubes takes it to the lungs with medium oxygen to be reoxygenated. Okay? Everybody with me there? Okay? We'll review a little bit later too. But now back to the digestive system that we were talking about. Let's talk about one of the very important parts of the digestive system, and that is the liver. It's an organ that produces bile. Okay. That is an important digestive enzyme. Okay? An organ that produces bile, an important digestive enzyme, the liver. Remember, it's got several lobes. Okay? Next one I'll talk about is the pancreas, the pancake. Pancreas. This is an organ tucked by the small intestine, and helps to break down sugars. Now, a frog just doesn't eat sugar cubes or candy, but sugars make up things, animals, right? Carbohydrates help to break down sugars. So if it helps you to think about pancreas, pancake, on my pancake I put maple syrup that's really sugary. This pancreas helps to break down sugars. That helps me. The liver produces bile. In the word liver, I see I-L-E. That's like 3/4 of the word of bile. That's how I helps to remember. How I remember it. No, nobody likes that. Fine. So I do it. Then let's talk about the spleen. An organ that filters dead blood cells from the circulatory system. That's where blood comes from, the circulatory system. Okay. Everybody good on the digestive system then? All right.
Jenny, one more time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Everybody good? Or do you need more time?
Oh, I'm good.
All right. If you're still writing things down, by all means, go after it. Okay. So tell me this: which is the chamber in the frog in which urine, fecal matter, and sperm or eggs pass through for it to excrete it? Everything goes through the same thing at the end of both males and females. Yeah.
Urinary bladder.
Urinary bladder contains urine. Okay, good guess. Yeah. Cloaca, right? So it will go through the urinary bladder. It'll go. Fecal matter will go through the. It'll go through the large intestine, into the rectum, into the anus, but it has to come out of the cloaca. Everybody with me there? Even sperm and egg. Okay. What is the name of the thing that prevents the food from going down its trachea? So you have one too. What do you got, Julia? The glottis. All right. So if you go back to page, let's see. Oh yeah, letter E, the respiratory system. Right here, it has a flap that covers its trachea. Okay. So that food doesn't go down it. All right, that's that thing. And you have one too that blocks your windpipe. What's the system that is responsible for the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide, oxygen. What do you got there, Aiden Stone?
Circulatory system.
Circulatory system, and it has to do with the heart and pumping blood. So I guess somewhat similar. Which one has to do with the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide? What do you think, Aiden? I'm exchanging oxygen.
Excretory.
No, excretory has to do with like peeing. My air is being taken into filling up my lungs. What part is that? Respiratory. There you go. Very good. Respiratory system. You're exchanging carbon dioxide and oxygen. You need oxygen You're exhaling carbon dioxide, right? Respiratory system. Very good. Thank you for using your notes. And that's why we get to use our notes today. Awesome. What organ removes waste liquids from the blood? So let's talk about waste. Let's talk about the excretory system. There's an organ that removes waste liquid from the blood. So go to the excretory system. You got only a couple options there. Okay, what do you think, Ava?
Kidney.
Yeah, the kidneys, all right? Your kidneys and the frog's kidney filters waste from your blood and eventually turns it into what? Pee, right? Goes through ureters and goes through the urinary bladder, and then it goes to the cloaca. Very good. And they have a special tissue. Who remembers the name of that special tissue in there? Yeah, what do you got? Yeah, bud.
The ureter.
No, the ureter is the tube that takes it down there. Let's take a look, see if I wrote this down. I believe I did. Maybe I didn't. Let's go back to here, excretory system.
Oh,
Here it is. Yeah. There it is. What do you got, Parker?
the nephrons.
Nephrons. Okay, so then kidneys contain these tissues. The tissues that are specialized to remove the waste liquid from the blood. Okay, so hopefully you wrote this down with me. What is the system that would maintain the blood pressure? It deals with blood. Deals with blood, Zach. Get out your sheet. What system deals with blood? You got your sheet, my guy? Why didn't you tell me that? I would have given you a new one. Blood, heart, blood vessels. Know the name of that one? Okay. Who else knows the name of that one? Let's see. Anybody online know the name of the one that deals with blood pressure? Go ahead, James.
Is it the circulatory system?
It is the circulatory system. It is. Very good. Okay. What's that? Well, why wouldn't you let me know? I'll get you. All right. We could have been doing that. All right, here we go. The next one. Let's talk about which one produces the bile. What organ? What organ produces bile? Julia? The liver produces the bile. That's one we just talked about. How about what system supports and protects the organs? What system supports and protects organs, Sawyer?
Skeletal system.
Skeletal system, absolutely. Your skeleton supports your body, also protects some important organs. Same thing in a frog. What else do I want to ask you? Oh, how about which system has testes and seminal vesicles? Testes and seminal vesicles. Okay, Zach Reed. Yeah, the male reproductive system. I would accept reproductive system too. Yep. Reproductive system. Testes produce sperm. Seminal vesicles take that sperm to be deposited through the cloaca. Okay, we already talked about the cloaca. We talked about the glottis. How about liquid waste? What system gets rid of liquid waste? We talked about it. Kidneys, ureter, urinary bladder. What do you got, Austin? Excretory system. So think about excreting, means getting rid of, excreting the waste, excretory liquid waste. Good. All right. What chamber receives a liquid tissue? A liquid tissue is blood. This chamber receives a liquid tissue from the body and the lungs. Okay. And then sends it to the ventricle. What do you got, Aiden?
Circulatory system.
The circulatory system. Now I need to know the chamber of the heart that does this, that receives it. So you got that?
The atria or auricle.
Very good. Thank you. So it receives the blood. The atria or the auricles receive the blood, send it to the ventricle. Cool? Cool. What's the main purpose of the digestive system? Julia? Yep. Take a lot of complex organs, process it, that food, right? We need food for energy. Frogs, same thing. Which organ breaks down the sugars? The pancake. The pancake, Parker.
Pancreas.
The pancreas, yeah. How about the tubes that branch off the trachea? We're back to the respiratory system now. The trachea is the windpipe, and then it has two tubes that are going to lead to the lungs. Aiden Klecky, you know that one? I bet you do. Go to the respiratory system. Find the names of those two tubes that lead to the lungs. Bronchi, you nailed it, man. The bronchi, the two tubes that lead to the lungs. You don't want bronchitis. All right. And then how about go back to the male and female reproductive system. And these structures, they store energy for mating, for hibernating or estivating, and also for metamorphosis. That's what they store energy. Zach? Fat bodies, absolutely. All right, and then what's the system that's responsible for telling all the other systems what to do? It's got the brain. Zach? Nervous system. Very good. Why does a frog's skin need to be moist? What do you got, Sawyer?
Doesn't it need it to like suck in oxygen and carbon dioxide or something?
Yep, and so that makes the exchange of those gases much easier. Okay. Cooper Miller, I'm calling on you because I know you're raising your hand a couple times. I want you to tell me, can you tell me how the blood circulates through a frog's heart?
So from the left side, high oxygenated blood comes in, and from the right side, low oxygenated blood comes in, and they both go down to the valves and get mixed together, and then go back out, and they go out through these top tubes, which I forget what they're called.
Yep. Perfect. So that was pretty good. All right. So they're coming into the atria, right? So this is important, everybody. The blood is coming into the atria. One side over here, we have, high oxygen because it came from the lungs. Yippee skippy, right? One side over here, it came from the body. It's got low oxygen. It's been used up. Okay. So it gets pumped through these valves into the ventricle. Here's my attempt at mixing it, right? Uh-oh, now it's medium oxygenated blood. Okay. Then it goes up through these tubes. One tube goes to the lungs. One tube goes to the body. Cool?
Cool.
Cool. All right. We are going to, do you want to take the quiz now or do you want to watch the video now?
Now,
Quiz.
Quiz. Okay. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to study on your own, looking at your notes. Make sure, write additional things that you think you might need because here, I'll show you what I wrote. Everything you have should be labeled, but here's everything that I wrote. If you would like to write more, that's up to you. I'll give you 5 minutes. You can study with friends if you want because I'm going to get the quiz on the This is open notes, yes. So that's what I'm saying. If you feel like you could add some more things that I talked about, go for it. If you think you're good to go and you just need to study what you need to study, go for that. Yeah. Can you what? Yeah.
Mr. Dayton.
Yes, Mr. Stone. Is this somebody's?
Oh,
It was on the floor. What's up?
I'm a bit confused. but-
You're a bit confused?
So, open notes, does that mean we can look at our notes and do the test?
Yes. So that's why I'm saying if you took good notes, you're in good shape, right?
And he
So,
did take good notes.
this is when you said study though.
Well, you can still study.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to add more.
Yeah.
You didn't take good notes. You think you're gonna do as well as you could have? Probably not.
No, I took good notes.
Some people though are able to remember without taking notes.
Definitely not me. I'm pretty sure I honestly forgot what I did. Just summed it up.
Shower.
How do they remember that such things?
And then I went to school.
Yeah, I don't think I just married a lot of people, and I remember it.
You take cold showers?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know.
I take freezing cold showers.
Everyone's doing like hot showers. Like, what?
I mean, I
I
used to take.
basically
You like
burn.
cold
No,
showers?
Yeah.
That's great.
I basically burn my back with how hot my shower
Yeah,
water.
I like the
I like
running water. I used to like the heat one, but then when I was younger, turn it literally.
I like burning my back. Like you don't like cold water.
Right?
Have I or like tired? And like.
I basically turn up my hot water all the way
Yeah.
up.
Whenever
Right.
I like woke up in the morning to cold, warm shower, they'll always get tired. And then when I get cold shower, I'll always get burnt.
I remember when I was hours. I was really fun.
You should have taken like a bath or something. You wake up cold.
I wake up drowning.
Zach, you better be going.
What are we doing? My guy, okay, you gotta write the whole back.
You're dead. Frogs. They are. Dang.
Dude, I'm wrong.
Pretty good. I got a nice one.
All right, we're at about 2 minutes left.
What's 2 times 3?
2 times
Let's
3?
go over all of them, man. What's two times
You know what 2 times 3
At
is.
least gotta write
It's
it.
6.
Oh,
Wait,
I don't have a pencil.
are you guys feeling okay?
Oh, I got you.
2 times 3 is 6.
Oh, I thought you said 3 times 3.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Alright.
That's very
My
unlucky.
mom.
Beans.
My friend.
Oh, wait, what?
That's unlucky. That's unlucky.
Mr. Dayton.
Yes.
Can I write the,
I did this with my mom once.
can I write the one my sister and my sentiment and stuff down on this?
You should have been doing that right now, man. That's why.
As cold as I could be. Awesome.
All
Hey,
right.
you got Spanish on your board now.
Do I?
Yep, this is now a Spanish class. I can turn it into a Russian class.
It's funny.
Ay, Colombia, ¿dónde está la biblioteca?
Just like,
Yeah.
no.
You know what that means?
Where's the library?
Yes.
I don't
what?
get it anymore. I just get scared.
I don't even take
Oh, wait,
it.
that's reading a book. I was thinking you were on the.
I take German.
No, it's my dad.
Oh, that's German?
No, that's Spanish, but I take German.
Oh, I forgot Leon means read a book, not go to the library.
Like 6 foot. I don't know.
Your dad sounds big.
Oh, where? Or I don't really know where it's from. Oh,
Your sit down and look away.
Your
Just
dad
because
sits
you
down.
kind of doesn't be like
Oh, wait, are you asking what state I'm from?
Oh my God.
Means like, wait, where are you from?
I'm pretty sure by the time like most of the tall people in our grade are like in high school
It was honestly
or in high school, we're all gonna be like almost 5, like 6 feet.
Breathe.
Hello, today we are learning Russian.
You speak Russian?
I know a few words.
Okay. That's
All right, everybody, go have a seat. Online students, I just posted the test. So it is titled Amphibian Organ Systems Project Test. So I'll show you. It is in today's folder. It is Amphibian Organ Systems Project Test. Okay, and you can click on that and complete that via Cami. Okay. All right. So everybody needs to you can use your notes that you recorded using,
Is it on a Chromebook?
if you would like to take it on a Chromebook, that's fine, yes.
Yeah, sure.
If you would like to do it on pencil and paper, that's fine too. Okay, and I will take you through it. Who would like paper and pencil? Okay, if you're doing paper and pencil, your Chromebook can't be open.
I'm gonna do.
You want paper and pencil? Zach, you don't?
Full project test.
You go to the concert.
Okay, so it needs to be quiet. Are you doing paper and pencil?
Yeah.
Maybe start.
You may start, yep, but I'm going to explain things too. So you're taking it online?
Yeah.
You're taking it online? Okay. You will only use your notes. You can't use the notes that are online because that would be using notes that I gave you. You need to rely on your notes. Okay, so here's what needs to happen. Put your name, the period that you are. You would be first hour. The date is 4/27/2021. Okay, here we go. Let's practice reading our instructions. It says, label each system drawing with the proper name by choosing from the list of organ systems. So here you will see the names of systems. And on the next 2 pages, there are drawings of the systems that you just made. So system 1, what is this system? System 2, what is this system? You see this blank here. System 3, what's this system? Name it there. System 4, name that system here. System 5, name it here. System 6, name it here. System 7, name it here. And System 8, name it here. All of the systems are listed. We have skeletal system, integumentary system, circulatory system, reproductive male system, reproductive female, respiratory, excretory, digestive, muscular, endocrine, nervous, immune. You'll notice some of those words we did not cover, did we? So, would you choose those?
No.
I probably wouldn't, because do you see anything different than what we drew? I don't. I see all the same systems that we drew. Almost in the exact same order, but not quite. Okay?
For extra credit, can we do other ones too?
How are you
Or
gonna
is that
do?
gonna be extra?
How you gonna do the other ones?
Well, I don't know.
Did you study the endocrine system of a frog?
A little bit last night.
The endocrine?
Not the endocrine, no, like I studied the last night.
Yes, please. You study the muscular system of the frog last night?
I don't know. I didn't shoot.
What?
Never mind.
No. There are some of them that we didn't do. Like the integumentary system, we didn't do. You might have done it on your own. Okay, so there are 8 systems that we went over. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Yes, that's 8. Okay, you can go through and label them. Then you'll notice that each of these, they have numbers next to them, right? Just like we did, or I tried to. You can go through here and label them. So number 1, I would have to go, if you're doing this online, you're going to have to do some scrolling. Number 1 is pointing at this thing right here. You can look at your notes. What is this thing right here? Oh, I'm going to go type it in right here. Do not type it in up here. Don't. I want to be able to look at all 37 and just go bang, 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 and be able to understand what you're doing. Okay? If you have questions about what's being pointed at, by all means, ask away. All right? Then, once you've done that, or maybe you want to go in a different order, you can go to page 4. If we're being honest, I just asked every single one of these questions to you. Maybe not every single one, but almost all of them. So if you were paying attention, you should be able to answer 1 through 18. They're multiple choice. Circle the correct answer. Online students, you can circle the correct answer by going over here to shapes. I believe you can select insert ellipse, which is a circle, and you can do something like this. So I would circle like, all right, I'll circle D or whatever. Got it? All right, then on the final page, we're on page 6. Okay. 18 was part of the short answer. Why does the skin of an amphibian need to be moist? Maybe if you want to bang that out right away, you can. And then 20 is short answer. It says, and I quote, explain how the blood circulates through the amphibian heart by placing arrows of blood flow direction, labels for color of the blood, high oxygen versus low oxygen. I won't make you do colors because I don't expect you to have that, but you should be able to tell high oxygen and low oxygen. You could say high O2 and low O2. Okay. Then place the words at the ends of the open blood vessels explaining to where and from to where and from where the blood is flowing. Yeah. Okay. So basically you have to tell where the blood is going and where it's coming from. All right. Use the heart diagram on page 2. Listen, the heart is already given to you. If you redraw that, replicate it, plus you already drew it once, and then be able to show me the blood flow using words, you're good. And then it says use a space below for additional writing space to explain how it works. If you feel your drawing isn't sufficient, you can do that. Okay, ready? Yes, Aiden.
Can we just show a diagram, like redraw the,
Yep, but I got to be able to understand your diagram. So the arrows all have to make sense. You're probably going to need to throw some words in there, right? Okay. Yeah, if all that makes sense and you feel like that sufficiently explains it to me, then yeah, that works. Okay. Right, we should have. An eraser? Yeah. Try that. That's all I got. Zach, put the answers down on the answer sheet.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.